What's up, guys? What's up, guys? I see y'all got on here as soon as possible. I'm just going through a couple of stuff right quick on the computer before I get started, like some old emails and whatnot. How's y'all day? Today was long, bro. I couldn't wait to get on the computer, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It's been a few days. It's been a few days since I got to record anything, and it's been killing me. I missed you guys so much. Like, even if it's not live or anything. Jesse, you still working? Shit. It felt like I was at work for the rest of my life. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It felt like I was gonna be there all day and night. I know I've been waiting to show my son. I mean, wait, show your son the video? Ooh. I don't know. Yeah, I got my channel. Oh, that's fire. I appreciate that. That's so cool. You trying to put people on game to tell your Uncle Lou? All right with that. Cause we just hit 7K. Just hit 7K. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate each and every person that come in this way. Tap in, tap in. OGs, everybody alike. Every single person. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Jesse. Thank you. Congrats. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Man. So let's see. I got like a couple videos tonight. Not a particular body cam. I'm scared because some of the videos I got lined up, they are means for probably getting taken down or probably getting blocked or something like that. You know, just because of the type of quality the content that we're gonna be delving into today. This fine evening. All right, so just let me take it. Let me just take a quick second here. We're gonna warm up. We're gonna warm up here with this. This one's coming from Inside Edition. Just a quick little warm up. This one was actually crazy. I found this one to be crazy. This is actually wild.
Asian American.
My son think it's cool that I can type and you respond in real time. LOL. Man, that's live, man. What you mean? That's live. Where I'm from, when we say that's live, that mean that's fire. You know what I'm saying? But this video right here, it's a small video. I seen this one on, I want to say X, but I found the news story right here. This is mega church pastor caught on camera breaking into a woman's home. And I ain't gonna waste no time. You could probably tell by my tone. Now, without further ado, niece nephew, it's your Uncle Lulu. Oh, Caleb, and he's 15. Oh, that's fire, man. Well, I hope Caleb do well. You know what I'm saying? Caleb keep grinding, keep his head right. I remember when I was 15, man, I was hard on myself because I wanted to just do well in life, bruh. Tell Caleb to be a kid, bro.
Man with a
Be a kid,
flashlight
enjoy it.
enters a single mom's house and ends up caught on her security camera. And when she looked at the video, she knew who it was right away. Here's why.
It's terrifying. A man caught on security tape breaking into a home. What made this even more shocking is the identity of the intruder. It was 43-year-old Marie Columna's pastor. There he was in her kitchen, clearly identifiable.
You would never think a pastor would do anything bad to anyone.
When you follow,
I don't know. Is that cashmere? And I love cashmere. You know what I'm saying? You quit hogging the chat. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Jesse, you vibing. What you talking about? You in here. But dude, you know, this dude look like a discount Hank Hill. But he's sitting here breaking into stuff. She's saying she thinks pastors can't do anything wrong. Just listen to the rest of this story.
God's vision.
And it's not just any church. 49-year-old Sergio Guardia was a pastor at a mega church, the 24,000-member Thomas Road Baptist Church in Lynchburg, Virginia. Maria and her husband were very close with the pastor and his wife, as seen in this photo.
Where's her husband?
are very close with the pastor and his wife, as seen in this photo. What was Pastor Guardia
That's
like?
weird.
Very charismatic, extremely nice.
But after she divorced her husband, Marie says the pastor's behavior became increasingly odd.
He started just showing up to my house. My kids wouldn't be home, it'd be in the middle of the day. And he would just show up and bring me groceries. He did that a handful of times. Sometimes I would get home and he'd be right on my porch. So I couldn't even avoid him.
But nothing prepared her for this. Surveillance video, which was taken while she was away for the weekend with her 2 kids.
I just couldn't process that it was Sergio.
Lo and behold, he came back the next day.
I was watching the live feed of him entering my daughter's bedroom.
Oh my
She
gosh.
called the cops, and you can see them with guns drawn.
This guy's sick.
They even use a police dog in their search, but the pastor had already fled. Guardia was charged with burglary and stalking.
Guardia had.
And then I want y'all to understand too, like that's the type of stuff where he'll go and that whole community, church, whatever, they're gonna go make stories and talk bad on that lady. That's the type of stuff that they'll do. They'll band together to talk bad on this lady. Ooh, you were letting him come over, this, that, and the third. They're gonna say something. They're gonna come up with something. Yeah, like he's seen the camera and then he tried to turn around. And by the way, shout out David. But he seen the camera, he turned around and Buddy tried to act like he wasn't on nothing weird. Like, bro, if you don't get out of here with that weirdness, you know what I'm saying? Jeez Louise. What we got going on? I pray that whatever I watch today don't get me copyrighted. I pray. Because we talked about this in the chat the last few nights. Bro, I haven't been able to record the last few days. I miss y'all so much. Y'all have no idea, bro. Like, my job is just starting to get more draining. It's like they're just starting to take more out of me. You know what I'm saying? And I want to give more. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to try to complain. But it's just like, I want to give y'all more, bro. Like, I feel like I'm not giving y'all enough. I need to give y'all way, way more. And not even just for y'all, bro. For me, too. Like, I just, you know. Let's see. I'm scared to watch this one. All right, we might put this one towards the back. We're going to do something. We're going to tap into something scary. Jesse, I appreciate that, man. Miss me, too. Yeah, you know, I be trying to go on live, like, the live, I don't know how frequent I could do that, but like just posting regularly, something as simple as that, even if it's not always that simple, I just want to try to do that for y'all, you know, because like I mess with y'all so hard. Like y'all don't understand. Y'all don't the way I'm such a nerd when it comes to this. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I feel like for people, oh my gosh, please don't drop completely. Please come back. Baby, come back. You can blame it all for me. There was nothing. Baby, come back. You can blame it all for me. Okay, we're back, chat. Made me lose my train of thought. But y'all get the point, though. Like, I rock with y'all so hard. Like, the fact that y'all tune into my... Like, I'm doing this from my bedroom. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, like, to say anything crazy or try to act like I'm somebody, but it's just the craziness of it, you know? Like, sometimes you feel like you need a lot of stuff. You don't need that much. Sometimes you just gotta go. And, like, I'm in go mode. I'm in go mode, and I want to just give you guys everything. I want to go harder. Pause. But, all right. Let me do this one right. I got to do the intro for y'all. Get y'all right. And also, if y'all got any suggestions, make sure you leave it down in the chat. I will check it out. It's not a guarantee, but just drop it down. Let's see. Let me drink some water. Let me get some agua in my system. Let me get some agua. Okay. What it do, nephew? It's your uncle Go. And I'm coming at you, son. Boy, oh boy, I missed you. Now, this video right here is going to be coming from Chilling Scares. Ooh. Now, don't you dare! 4 most disturbing Reddit threads. Now, I'm not going to waste no more time. Let's not get too far ahead. Make sure you hit that like button for the algorithm. And your Uncle Lou, we just hit 7K. So you know your boy had to come out with the blue. Make sure you hit that share button with somebody that's next to you. And then hit that subscription with that notification muscle. Because we're on the way to 10K in 2025. And I couldn't do this without each one of you guys by my side. Now, without further ado, niece, nephew, I want that 8K. You know this ain't nothing new.
December 10, 2024, Reddit user SuperHeatran2 shared a disturbing discovery they made on the RBI2 subreddit. The post read, "Terrifying film found at a thrift store. Found this film photo at my thrift store inside an old Kodak carousel box." Alongside this, they posted a picture of the eerie film strip they found. Now, I'm gonna have to blur the image as it's a bit too graphic, but it basically shows what looks like an undressed human body lying on the floor between a bed and a wall. The floor is also covered in blood, with heavy splatters staining both the bed and the walls. It looks like a picture someone took right after committing an absolutely horrific crime.
Oh, that don't
Most
sound
importantly, it looks disturbingly real, far too authentic to be dismissed as part of a horror-themed art project. About 30 minutes
Bro, this looks like the stuff that was inside the Krabby Patties when they like had the Krabby Patty machine and it was producing those sandwiches. This is what it looks like.
later,
That's
the OP
nasty.
came back with an update describing their
That's
actions
nasty.
after finding the film, which only made it seem even more legit, reading, "Hello everyone, sorry I'm on my phone, so I'm leaving an update as a comment. Here's what I did. When I saw the photo, I was curious and pointed into a contrast area to look at it, and my body jolted because I was shocked. I didn't buy the Kodak carousel and just took the photo and went outside. I went to another store next door and called the non-emergency line describing what I saw and that I felt like it was a genuine
What
photo.
it do, Craig?
They told me they're sending an officer when available. She said she didn't have an ETA.
Salute.
The
I
dispatch
appreciate
person
you.
told me if I can wait at the thrift store, and I said yes. I'm waiting in my car as of now."
Cheers from Scotland.
About an hour after that, the OP posted a second update, this time describing their interaction with the police, stating, "The officer arrived a bit after I posted the update. Him and I looked at the photo, and basically he was just looking thoroughly and asked me where I found it, and I just described where I found it. Then him and I walked to the thrift store and showed him the exact box I found it in. He sent a photo of the film to a coworker and spoke to him on it. He then took down my information and told me that he's going to take it to the people who can properly process the image to investigate it. I basically told him how I just thought the carousel was cool, so I opened it to see the condition, and I saw the photo and thought someone left a family photo, so I checked, and it was definitely not a family photo. I also gave him the time I found it, which was a minute before I took the photo. He then said if there's any more questions or things, he'll reach out to me, but he says it's unlikely since I just found the photo and don't know much about it. He then said thanks, that's all he needed, and then took the box and photo, and then began to walk to the thrift store worker to ask questions, but I left. That's all I have so far, and if I'm being honest, I don't know if I'll get any updates from them, since I'm sure it's hard to go off of a film photo, and since I just stumbled upon it from chance and have no other information other than what I said." Now, usually when something like this is posted on the internet, there's a lot of skepticism surrounding its origin. The first thought most people have is that whoever made the post faked either the whole thing or parts of it for online attention. But in this particular instance, the vast majority of people were convinced that the OP was telling the truth, simply because the picture looked a bit too real. They urged the OP to post more information about where and how they found the film, which they complied with by posting pictures of the box the film was in. One person asked for more details. "Was that the only image in the carousel?" "Yes, it's the only image, but it wasn't in the carousel, it was in the middle of the carousel." An hour later, SuperHeatran also
Bro,
posted a
I
clear
don't know. I'm starting to be skeptical, bro.
picture of
That
the
don't
film by using their
sound right.
Apple Watch as a bright
It don't
backlight.
sound right.
This only confirmed everyone's suspicion that the picture exposed onto the film was indeed real, with one user writing, "This doesn't seem fake. If it is, it's really well done." They further added, "I feel like if it was fake, it would be either more or less gruesome. But there's something about the positioning of the body, the fact that it isn't a more attractive body type, read thin and beautiful for better optics, and the natural pattern of
What does
blood
that
on the
have to
wall
do?
that indicates the victim fought and didn't die immediately. Visible hand/finger marks on the wall in addition to smudges and splatter. Just doesn't seem like it was some type of dark art project.
Okay, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. You Reddit detectives pissed me the fuck off, bro. I'm sorry. That shit don't make sense. This shit don't make sense. The fact that this isn't a more attractive body type. I'm sorry, bro. I don't feel like that's the deciding factor on deciding if this is real or not. You know, death don't discriminate. That's weird as fuck to say.
Obviously, I can't say for sure,
Weird as
but I
shit,
watch a ton
actually.
of true crime and fiction crime shows. The difference in brutality and realism of the crime scene photos are easy to distinguish. But if this film strip was real, what was its
It'll be a
origin?
pretty body of
The
time.
carousel
Yeah, but I know they're trying to say art project, you know, but it's more like, I don't know. That's just, I don't see that as a deciding factor. I don't feel like nobody would go through that great of a link to be like, okay, I'm gonna get the baddest bitch ever and just cut her body up and take a picture. Why? Nobody's gonna fucking do that shit. You know?
containing this film appeared to be
At
from
least
the
I
mid
don't think somebody's gonna do
1980s. In another thread, the OP also mentioned that the film was sticky, stating, "I didn't smell it, but yes, it was sticky, as in it would stay on my index finger after pressing on it." This hinted at the old age of the film, as they tend to become sticky when left in a room temperature box for over a decade.
Ruined.
So the possibility of it being from the 1980s and early 1990s is certainly high. As for the disturbing contents of the film, there are countless possible explanations, each just as plausible as the next.
Is this a real
Some
photo
users
of
suggest
it?
that maybe it was a trophy photo taken by a serial killer, which begs the question, how could such a thing end up at a thrift store of all places? One user tried to explain this with a personal anecdote, writing, "My mother lives in a seniors community in California and there's a Savers just around the corner. When the old people die, a lot of the time their kids pick up what they cherish and dump all the rest of their parents' stuff at the Savers. Could be the person who donated this didn't know what was on it." That said, a more reasonable theory I came across stated that the film likely belonged to a criminology teacher, reading, "I think a likely possibility is that the carousel belonged to someone who taught classes relating to crime scenes. The photo was accidentally left in the box because it had come away from its slide frame. Only suggesting this because I once found something similar from a house clearance and I knew the person taught some criminology classes." Another distinct possibility is that the carousel originally belonged to law enforcement. This film could have been evidence relating to an already solved case, and someone simply failed to make sure the carousel was empty before donating it to a thrift store. Whatever the case may be, it's unlikely we'll learn the truth anytime soon. It's been months since the original post, and the OP hasn't made any updates. It's possible they'll get a call from the police at some point with an update, but at least until then, the film strip depicting what appears to be a horrific crime remains an unsolved mystery. On September 3rd, 2024, a Reddit user shared the unsettling sight they came across on a hike in Austin, Texas, reading, "Stone crosses in South Austin. Anyone know what's up? Went hiking with my sister and dog today at the Westgate and Stastny area, and we kept seeing piles of rocks made into crosses. We stopped counting at 11. Does anyone know what these are? One of them had animal bones mixed into it. Weird voodoo or just memorials?" Alongside this, they also shared several images of the many stone crosses they described in their post. The OP also
That's
provided some more
freaky as
context
hell.
in later comments, stating, "We didn't see anyone around, but there was a ton of trash back in the woods. It was creepy though, with cross after cross, felt off. Definitely going to find new paths to walk the dog because I don't want to meet their architect." Usually, discoveries like these will lead to some interesting but predictable answers. For all we know, these could have been part of a ritual site of sorts from centuries ago, or something along those lines. However, that wasn't the case here, as some of these crosses contained modern materials like concrete and painted metal fence posts. In other words, these were put together a lot more recently, which begged the question, who made these and why? To this, one user gave a very urgent and concerning response. "Call APD/311 and tell them you think Rami Zoeda is back in the neighborhood. He escaped custody from a mental institution in June. I don't know whether he is still wanted. Good luck getting APD to
What
do
the-
something.
Bro,
Google
Reddit-
him and talk to your neighbors." Put simply, these
Put it
crosses
back.
were the work of an unstable
Put
homeless man named Rami.
Holy fucking shit. That shit is like, I don't know why he looks creepy as fuck.
Put simply, these crosses were the work of an unstable
the
homeless
hell?
man named Rami Zaweda.
I'm not entering your camp.
In the last few years, South Austin residents say they have spotted Rami Zaweda building sculptures, taking a sledgehammer to city property, screaming at all hours of the night, and cutting down trees in the greenbelt using a chainsaw and machete.
From what I could find online, Rami is originally from New York and struggles with severe mental health issues and violent tendencies. As one local resident described her account with him, stating, "He's very profane. He's beginning to target me and my little dog, talking about murder, calling me obscene names."
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. The second you even say that kind of shit, like you play around with that word with me, I ain't gonna lie to you. You're gonna be talking to
Reports of Rami disturbing locals go back years.
Bro, I
like
don't
this
know.
similar Reddit post from another Austin resident from December of 2023 reading,
gonna be talking
"These
to
weird
somebody."
rock cross formations appeared seemingly overnight in the little green space between Westgate and Menchaca. Anyone have any idea what they may be for?" While looking through the wooded area surrounding these strange sightings,
That
I
is
even found what
crazy.
looked like Rami's base of operations.
That's
A quick
crazy.
search on the guy also shows that Rami's been doing this for quite a while. He'd been arrested 6 times in less than a year. However,
That's
all
a
the charges
lot.
were either dropped or dismissed. He was also ordered to undergo temporary inpatient mental health services back in April of 2024.
I'm not sure exactly.
But he
Yeah,
managed to
Texas,
escape
yeah.
from the hospital
I
within
see
a
the
few
flag.
weeks of his detainment to continue his work. The same work that was later described by the OP in early September. As their post picked up steam, more and more locals joined the conversation to share what they knew about Rami as well. As it turns out, Rami wasn't just a misunderstood artist who should have been left alone. He was highly unstable and posed a great threat to the people in that neighborhood. I live on Westgate near Stastny, about 1 block from where the crosses are. I just recently found a smart key outside of my home, a verified lockpicking tool in the back patio area, and am truly concerned he tried to break in but gave up very recently. Last year around this time, he would specifically target my home and steal water from my downstairs faucet, carrying large gallon containers of the stolen water on his bicycle. I filed a 311 report and have reached out to the APD district representative and left a message, but
Nah,
311
that's
told me
creepy.
I should keep calling. They have 14 days to respond to my concerns. Super great feeling. I'm feeling very, very uneasy and scared. I believe I saw him once. What happened is that I saw a man outside my apartment building casually stroll by, bash someone's windshield in with a sledgehammer, and casually continued strolling.
Whoa.
Zaweda had a sledgehammer he used to break decorative white boulders that were on the side of the street.
Bro, the fact that this guy is still living is crazy. Like, the fact that this guy is living is a miracle. I'm gonna be honest with you. But nah, getting a gun at that point is crazy. Yeah, facts. They're unstable. You ain't whistling, Dixie. This is terrifying. Nani, how you doing? Because it isn't oxygen.
It appears he has now made crosses
you know,
over the
stand your
broken
ground.
rocks. He also had a chainsaw and cut down
in
numerous
Florida.
trees. He said
Stand
the
your
devil
ground.
was in the trees. He did this day and night for months on end. Not only did he destroy property, he threatened to murder people out for walks.
That's
Oh, and people
crazy.
said he has sawed stray cats in half. Now, from what I could find, he's never been charged with any form of animal cruelty.
He looked crazy, though.
That said, the OP did find animal bones in a few of the crosses he built. So it's possible there's some truth to the statement.
That's a
As
lot.
for his motive, a journalist who spoke with him reported that he claimed to be, quote, taking out Satanism. Apparently, he believes that these woods are the worshipping grounds for a group of Satanists, making these crosses his way of purifying the landscape. Regardless of his reasoning,
away
it's
from
clear
him.
that he's mentally unwell and is a danger to the public. There are already rumors of him attacking stray animals, and it's not a stretch to imagine him
Why is this
turning his
person
chainsaw on
recording
a
him?
person if he sees it as a necessary sacrifice to fulfill his goal. Thankfully, something of that nature hasn't happened as of yet. He was arrested again in late September and was even sentenced to 240 days in jail. But since he had already spent a long time in confinement in the past couple of years, his sentence was deemed served and he was released. At the time of writing, Rami is still out there and posing a threat to the people around him.
David. Sorry. I don't know.
On the 14th of December 2017, Reddit user She's Such a Riot made a post about a bizarre and unnerving
Bro, my brain, if I was on Reddit, I would have read this so fucking stupid, too. I would have read it like, Sheshotariat. That's what I would have said. She's a chariot, like some shit. She's such a riot.
17, Reddit user She's Such a Riot made a post about a bizarre and unnerving experience they had many years ago. The post read, "Humans walking in hamster wheels. When I was about 16, I came home from hanging with friends. I was a huge cartoon fan, still am, grabbed some food and settled into my bed to watch Nickelodeon. I knew it was Nick because it was the last channel I watched that day and no one shared the TV in my room. So I turn it on to see this creepy black, white, and gray scene where hundreds of nude humans are walking in a line over these hills in the background towards these giant hamster wheels in the front of the scene. They're walking towards the wheels as a few people are already in the wheels walking endlessly and mindlessly in this robotic, zombie-like state. The people walking toward the wheels are also in this similar state, as if there's no life within their eyes. They're just cold/robotic. There's this cold, wind-like noise whistling in the background. It looks real, not animated, and as I watch in awe at this dark scene, I come to a similar conclusion and ask myself why Nick would have something so live and non-action, really, as the entire scene keeps just repeating itself of more humans walking towards and in these hamster wheels. I start thinking maybe it's just some weird short and it's kind of cool in a dark sort of way, but minutes go by and it starts to get dull watching this same scene, not doing anything else. So I quickly change the channel to something else, when in a split second I realize, wait a minute, what did I just watch? And change it back immediately, only to find SpongeBob mid-episode.
I fucking knew it was gonna change. Why would you do that? Why would they do that?
You could tell SpongeBob was on for a while, not like the weird short played and it just came on. Freaked out, I keep going back to surrounding channels thinking maybe it wasn't Nick, but nothing has the hamster wheel video on. It felt really dark, almost evil when I watched it, and though seemed somewhat interesting at first, it started to feel really wrong after a while. So that, lined with the repetitiveness of it all, made me change it. But now that I realized it wasn't on any channel in the first place, I was really creeped out, and still am to this day. I don't know if this was necessarily a shift in reality or something sinister, paranormal, really a short, etc., but I have never been able to research and come up with anything about its existence since, including researching that day online in 2005 when it happened. I'd like to believe it was some dumb film project, but I can't find any evidence of it ever existing in reality as we know it. If anybody knows what I saw, I'd love to be debunked. Still somewhat wary of my TV till this day. I should mention that this was posted on the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit, a community which gives credibility to theories like shifts and glitches in reality. But that said, if this particular story really did happen, it raises some very concerning real-life possibilities that are worth considering. The idea of randomly coming across something so deeply unsettling on TV only for it to vanish without a trace is terrifying on its own. However, what makes this particular case even more disturbing is just how many people remember seeing something similar in the past. I'm pretty sure I saw it too. I think I saw part of this. I actually think I remember this. I know I saw it too. Though, if it was real, how exactly did it happen? Some people tried to explain the weird occurrence with a more mundane answer, suggesting that it might have been an ad that was played at the wrong time, with one person writing, "Sounds like a commercial that glitched through the network. It does happen, but it's pretty rare. May have been an ad for an antidepressant or a PSA. Probably wasn't a broadcast intrusion."
Titanium.
However, this theory falls apart quickly when you consider that this happened on Nickelodeon, a kids channel. Any ad or PSA featuring seemingly nude people would have never been allowed on that channel in the first place. Another just as likely theory is that this was the result of a TV hijacking, similar to the infamous Max Headroom incident that happened during a Doctor Who broadcast.
Bro, this crap right here used to creep the shit out of me. Now I don't give a fuck. It looks goofy. But I thought it was the scariest crap ever.
Back in 1987.
But it's hilarious now. Like, this is hilarious, bro. Low key. Why they probably on that shit.
Kids channels were frequent targets for these signal intrusions. More importantly, many of these hijackers chose to broadcast explicit or unsettling content after gaining access, similar to what the OP described in their post. As for why there's no information about this hijacking online, a comment from a deleted user shed some light on it, stating, "I'm not sure what happened considering the year, but back in the day, television frequencies often got hacked. It's called a broadcast signal intrusion. Max Headroom is often the case most referred to. However, it is possible in my mind that this was either swept under the rug or not reported, considering it was on a kids channel in a period that was still technically before the popularity of social media. However, even if we assume it was a TV hijacking, that still leaves us with a massive unanswered question. What exactly did the OP see on their screen that day? Was it from a movie or a TV show or something else entirely? One user posted a link to Metachaos, an animated horror short film that shares some similarities to what the OP described in their post. Unfortunately, this likely isn't what the OP saw that day. This short doesn't feature anything even remotely close to walking in a line or running on a hamster wheel. Also, it was released in 2010.
They seen the apocalypse or some shit.
A full 5 years after the supposed hijacking. A more recent comment suggested something far more plausible, reading, "Okay, I know this is a dead topic, and I don't know if someone already said this before, but do you think it maybe could have been related to anything of those old MacBook Lemmings commercials? I just saw a compilation of a few, and it reminded me of this." These ads depicted a group of zombie-like people marching single file up a mountain, blindly following the crowd, how doing so could lead to their doom, and how Apple's upcoming Macintosh can save them from this fate.
On January 23rd, Apple Computer will announce the Macintosh Office. You can look into it.
The fact that it still made the Office ass. Like, the fact that the Office can still be ass. They tried to market this and think it was gonna save the Office. No, Ben Affleck.
Or you can go on with business as usual.
More importantly, these ads were also released way back in 1985, so there's no issue with their timeline. And while they don't perfectly match the original description, like the people are clothed and there are no hamster wheels, that simply could be a case of the OP misremembering details from 12 years ago. They could have also mixed in the memory of what they saw on TV with a similar dream they had the same day. Unfortunately, despite dozens of people looking for the answer, this Reddit thread remains a mystery to this day. The OP's account was also suspended sometime after making this post, so it's unlikely we'll ever get an update.
That sucks.
In April 2020, an anonymous user turned to the relationship advice subreddit seeking help with a deeply unsettling situation he found himself in. He wrote, "I think my girlfriend and her sister are poisoning me. I'm an 18-year-old guy. I moved out of my parents' house as soon as I turned 18 because, well, let's just say they and I get on much better if we're not under the same roof. My girlfriend, 19, and her sister, 24, already had a flat together, so I moved in with them, and that's how..."
No, young nephew.
It's been for the past 9 months. Generally, things are fine. I love my girlfriend and I like her sister. Our living arrangement / setup is really no different from any other couple living with a flatmate situation, perfectly normal. Now, both of the girls love to cook. Their dad is a Michelin star chef.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, that is not the move, nephew. No.
So food and cooking was always a big part of their lives.
You set yourself up
I'm
to
fine
die.
with this. I'm not a bad cook by any means, but these two are amazing at it. Plus, we have a fair trade. They do all the cooking, I do all the cleaning. I find cleaning very cathartic, so it's usually a sweet deal. I get really bomb meals cooked for me in exchange for doing something I enjoy. Things have changed recently. It started about 3 weeks ago when the whole quarantine thing got really ramped up. I started getting sick. At first, I worried I caught the virus, but it just wasn't the virus. No respiratory symptoms, no cold, nothing like that. Just stomach cramps and horrible vomiting. I figured at first I'd caught some other bug, but then it came back, again and again. At least 1 to 2 times a week for a couple of days at a time, I was getting these episodes of stomach pain like you wouldn't believe, and spewing my guts up. I couldn't figure out what was up, until I spoke to a friend about it and she asked if it was maybe something I'd been eating. Now, I don't have any real food allergies. I'm a bit dodgy with dairy, but not on a feel like I'm on death's door and vomit all the fluids out of my body level. More just bit of discomfort and spend ages on the loo type of stuff. Still, I mentioned it to my girlfriend and asked if she'd changed anything about how she was cooking recently. She got really weird, defensive, as to what I was accusing her of. I said I wasn't accusing her of anything, I just think I might have developed an allergy to something and want to know what it could be to. She told me I'm just being paranoid and I just have a bug. I dropped it because she seemed really annoyed. Since then, I've noticed some weird stuff which really is making me paranoid. Like, they shout at me to get out if I go in the kitchen while they're cooking. I've offered to both of them on several occasions, hey, I'll cook tonight, but they vehemently turn me down and seem almost offended I'd offer.
God damn, bro. Now, what did he really do to make these niggas that mad? No, G shit though. Like, what are you doing that they hate you this much? That they're trying to get rid of you. What are they doing? Like, what are you doing that they feel like this is the only way to get rid of this guy? That's sick. Run. Bro, y'all messed up when he said he moved in with his girlfriend and his sister. He's 18, she's 19, and her sister's 24. Bro, you set yourself up from the jump. What the fuck?
They both keep giving
That's like just moving into their already house that they grew up in.
me these glances at mealtimes, like they're waiting to see how I react. If I say I don't feel good or don't want to eat, both of them take it as a personal attack on their cooking, and if it's my girlfriend, she'll cry until I cave and eat it. There have been times when one or both of them seem to know I was about to get sick after eating.
Go cry,
They text each other when they're in the same room if I'm there. I think they think I haven't caught on to that, but it's obvious, honestly. Neither of them is particularly sympathetic when I do get sick. I don't know, maybe I'm being paranoid, maybe quarantine is getting to me. But I'm really convinced they're doing something to my food to make me ill. It's the only explanation I can come up with. Thing is, I don't know what to do. If I confront them and I'm wrong, I'm a jerk for even thinking it. If I confront them and...
Okay. Before we go any further, because it's just pissing me off. Because you're saying, or the OP is saying, if he confronts them and he's wrong. Bro, fuck if you right or wrong. They're gonna fucking lie to you. What they're gonna say? Yeah, we're fucking putting shit in your food. They're not gonna say that shit anyway. Bro, if you have the hunch, bro, if you really trust your gut, go with that shit. Cause you have it for a reason.
And I'm
That's
right.
just not just there.
Things could escalate badly. I'd really appreciate any advice or words of wisdom here. Thank you in advance. One of the top comments on this post gave the OP some solid advice for finding the truth.
What the fucking names on this shit, man? What the hell?
But this only made the situation seem even more suspicious. Switch plates with one of them either with or without their knowledge. If they know you want to switch plates, they will refuse, which would be a red flag. Or if you switch without their knowledge, you would be able to see how the plate originally meant for you affects them. They're always super particular about making sure I get the right plate. I hadn't thought about asking to switch. But the thing is, this could have gone either way. As one commenter pointed out, I've seen this before, it was a post on here. A person's husband was a cook and started using some kind of spice. He didn't believe it was making her sick, she got tested and was in fact allergic. He confessed and they reconciled. In another post, a fellow was using garden slugs in his girlfriend's meals on purpose. You need to consider both possibilities. The second half of this comment was referring to a now deleted post from March of 2020. In it, a woman sought advice on what to do after making the horrifying discovery that her partner of 4 years was putting garden slugs in her food. In addition to being incredibly gross, this was also highly dangerous as these slugs can contain brain-eating parasites. Put simply—
What the? Why? Like, bro, what the hell? Why do you hate somebody this much that you want them to suffer? Brain-eating parasites. You want them to suffer with brain-eating parasites? Like, bro, you sick. Evelina, shout out to you, Evelina. Shout out to you, Evelina. I see you in the chat. See you right there in the chat. Let me make sure. I gotta highlight the chat. You know what I'm saying. Shout out to you, Evelina. You late. No. You right on time, baby.
There was no obvious answer to the OP's predicament. On the one hand, it's entirely possible that the OP was just being paranoid. This could have also been an early sign of a mental health issue, where he's seeing patterns and behaviors that don't actually exist. A few people also suggested a gastrointestinal test to see if there was something wrong with his stomach. This is because conditions like Crohn's disease can cause persistent digestive issues regardless of diet. It could have also been a combination of the two, where his real symptoms were making the paranoia worse. But as this one user mentioned, a potential poisoning wasn't entirely off the table. If we assume that the OP's observations are completely accurate, there's a good chance that he was getting poisoned. What makes this even more sinister, however, is that his girlfriend and her sister were disturbingly deliberate in their actions. They didn't lace his food with a stronger poison, because then the OP might go to a doctor who would likely find the toxic substance in his system. Instead, they were poisoning him slowly, likely in the hopes of keeping him oblivious until his eventual death.
That's crazy.
Many people took this possibility seriously, with some even brainstorming ways for the OP to protect himself without jeopardizing his relationship if it all turned out to be a
Bro,
misunderstanding.
this is one of them scenarios
I don't
where
have a
like
magic bullet.
the OP ends up like offing them before him, and the whole time none of this stuff was happening. It was in his head. That sounds like one of these stories, bro.
Answer for you, but I can tell you what to do. I would play dumb, announce that I would be cooking for myself from now on because it would not be fair to force my new, as of yet unidentified allergy on them and their amazing cooking. From there, I would be careful about my food. If I open it, it gets used all the way, nothing left open. All of this would serve twofold. First, if you still get sick every other week while having full control of your own food, you know something bigger is going on here medically, and the paranoia toward them is unjustified. If it works, you might just need to work on getting the hell out. All this being said, the most important part of this is to play dumb and stand your ground, claiming it is all for their happiness and convenience. Unfortunately, we'll never know if he followed the advice from this thread, what ultimately happened, or even if he's still alive. He made this post with an anonymous throwaway account, which was also suspended shortly after this thread's creation. From what I could find, there haven't been any further updates on this post from any other accounts either. Maybe one day the OP will return with all the answers. But at least until then, we can only hope that he's alive and well.
Well, you know, chilling scares. They came with the wop the bam, wop the bamski, wop the bam, wop the bamski. All right, let's see. All right, so I like this, man. It's just a nice little cool little chat on a hump day. Nice little cool little chat on a hump day. Nice little cool little chat on a hump day. Hold on, let me make sure we frame this properly, y'all. I want y'all to get proper love. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If y'all decide to come over, talk to your boy on there. But just got paid Wednesday night. Alright, so this video right here. I've never watched this channel before a day in my life. But it's called what is that? Aaron Revenge. Let me see. I probably have Arson. Yeah. I think I have. Bro, that's how I know I need glasses, Nani. I was saying Aaron. Aaron Revenge. Aaron Revenge? That shit says arson. The fuck? This shit needs to stop. Bro, if I don't get glasses before the end of May, bro, I'm gonna delete my channel, bro. If I don't... Oh, yeah, and it's by Midwest Safety. I think I did do that one. Bro, why it's not coming up, man? Come here. What's wrong with you? Oh my gosh, I think I got... Yeah, I did this one. Wait, did I do this one? I want to say I did do this one. Let me go to my channel. If not, that would be good. I feel like I did do this one, though. Do. Bing, bing, bing. Bro, did they delete the video? I think Midwest Safety deleted it or something. I don't see Midwest Safeties. I keep seeing all these small little fake Midwest Safeties. Let me see. Let me just type. What I gotta type in. There we go. I watched it, yeah, but did I do a video? I had to have done a video on it. Sorry, guys. I know I'm taking a little second. I just want to make sure. Just want to make sure. Let me see. No. Yeah, I want to say, I think I've seen this before. I can't find it right now, but I want to say I've seen this before. Dang, I watched a lot of videos, bro. 661 is a lot. That's a lot, dude. It's a lot. How she become a villain in her own family. I probably did that one too. Bro, I've done hundreds, dude. Hundreds. I don't think I've done this one. I don't do a lot of places where it's snow. It always ends up being Florida. Oh, shit. No, but yeah, it always ends up being Florida. It always ends up being Florida. Am I still muted, or you can hear me? Am I muted? Am I muted? Is me mic muted? Okay, so how she became the villain. Is this the one 50? Is that 50 police body cam? 50 police body cam. Or it might be you. It could be you. I hit something on here. Yeah, my mic talking. I don't know. It's showing me stuff on the computer. I don't know if you can't hear me or not. Nope, for some reason you can't hear. Hold on, I don't want to overlap, but... Okay, yeah, you're probably going to hear a slight echo for a second, because I just checked it. But, alright, that's cool. I mean, it's not cool that you can't hear, but it's cool because it's not that bad. But, this right here, before I even go crazy in this video, I want to say there was a video that I bookmarked specifically to come on stream with. And for the life of me, I just cannot find it. And I want to say I got it off of like X or something. So let me just see if I could have that just to line it up. Or was it the... But I'm going to do this. What is it? How she became the villain in her own family. Yeah. And let's go to X. X.com at LowtoneLu. X.com at LowtoneLu. Bookmarks. Oh no, that's crazy work. Oh, jeez. That's crazy work. Okay. All right, so we're going to do this one. John, 7K, what it do? I appreciate you, nephew. I appreciate you for typing in. All right, so we're going to do Jones barbecue foot massage. Jones barbecue foot massage.
From public cheating scandal.
Calm down. We're not doing you. Okay? Calm down. We're going to do how she became the villain of her whole family. And this video is coming from 50 police body cam. Now, I'm not going to waste no more time. You already know who I am. Just make sure you hit that like button. Spam that like button for the algorithm and your Uncle Lou. Share the video with somebody next to you. And then hit that subscription with that notification muscle. Because we on the way to 10K in 2025. On the way to 8K. Because 7K just arrived. Now, without further ado, niece, nephew, it's your Uncle Lu. Bro, people, they
March
driving
the
in this
20th,
weather?
2025. It's a snowy morning in Westmont,
Cancel
Illinois,
everything.
where
Holy night.
I
Cancel
hate
everything.
when that happens. But it's no laughing matter when what seems like a woman's mental health issues take a toll on her family, and she allegedly kicks one of 3 young children in her household. One officer will speak with the victim and family outside, while the other will question the alleged perpetrator.
Bro, this is making me want to put on a jacket.
Westmont Police. Can I come in? Can I come talk to you?
Oh, she's manic.
Okay, no problem.
You have to release the door. You know what? I will shut the door. I just got home.
Okay. Can you let me in so I can talk to you?
I'm okay.
Okay.
The door's locked. He's not allowed back in until I want what I need to feel okay.
I know, but can I come in?
Please.
Whoa. Please take care of her, man. Don't do her.
Do you have it
bad.
latched? There we go. Perfect.
You're the dog.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, what's the issue today? Just tell me from your point of view. What's
My
going on?
perception, you can't do that to me. I just got home.
Okay. Where'd you get home from?
Your office.
My office?
Oh, the police or the hospital.
Oh,
Who cares if you go?
Oh, you're at the hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you at the
There
hospital?
she is!
Who's that?
The person that makes me look stupid. Hey, Jacqueline!
There's no female out there.
I know.
There's no.
Oh, she's manic.
Scott, you're going away this time.
Alright, bro. She's clearly schizo. She's clearly schizo, bro. I want to apologize for my government towards you. Yeah, man. Tough, man.
I'll do everything and anything.
We are
So what?
having
Shine my light. I'm serious.
Ma'am, do you want to talk to me? So what?
Just got home.
So what happened?
I'm good.
There.
I'm good.
Hey,
Scott,
just focus
you
on me.
come in here.
Come here, just
No, no,
focus
no,
on me. Just focus on me.
can't.
Why? Just focus on me. Just talk to
I
me.
know my kids.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going
I'm
on.
married to a police. I just got home. They.
You were at the
Listen,
hospital.
I was
Does
at
she
the
live
hospital.
alone?
Look me up.
Yeah. Okay.
Swear to God.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. You're
What
right.
do you think I've done in the matter of time? Because he thinks I'm having my mom.
You have proof that what?
That he has sex with my mom.
That he's having sex with
Swear to
your
God,
mom.
President. Did you say that over again one more time? See, I don't like that. I know you have to repeat it because you have to.
Well, you whispered it, so I just want to make sure that I have the
I
story
don't want to
straight.
go on.
Wow.
Okay. What makes
She
you
said
think
her
he's having
mom,
sex
so
with
she
your
lives
mom?
with her mom?
There's various reasons.
What is the main reason?
The main reason is my mom is trash.
Okay.
So is my husband. I had an
Oh,
affair with
man.
one of his best friends. Sorry, I just walked.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, what the fuck? What in the fuck? JR. What it do? What up? What up? What up? First time chatter. What up, JR? But, dude, you hear this right here? She heard a younger member of her family as a family member. Oh, we can't deal with her in this state. Yeah, bro, she is clearly like, she's clearly dealing with like some stuff up there for sure. But also, if this last line, what she just said, if that's true, I lost a lot of sympathy. A lot of sympathy. A good portion.
I had an affair with one of his best friends. Sorry, I just walked.
Yeah, no, I lost a lot of sympathy. Yeah, I lost a lot of sympathy, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Dad, I had an affair with one of his best friends. Sorry, I just watched. I'm like, hey.
Did you say you had an affair with one of his best friends?
Yes.
Okay. Does he know that?
Yes.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
3 years later, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, are you hearing your mom's voice right now?
I'm hearing Scott.
Okay. Okay. I thought you said I'm hearing my mom's voice.
Okay, on the phone? Yeah.
Okay.
Is it weird?
No, I was just
I
wondering.
don't mean to be a smartass, but I've already been here, done that. You're taking him this time. What does it take for you to do it?
So what? Okay, so what happened today? You got back from the hospital.
Can you please go out there and ask him this time?
There's an officer talking to him
I
right
just
now.
got home. There was no room for me to do anything. I swear to God, you think
Where's
I'm
your support
lying?
system?
I just got home.
Okay. What time?
Well, they don't want to
Look
deal
at
with
those
her,
titties
right?
you move. Look at her feet. Look at. You're the jerk.
What time did you get home?
No, I don't remember.
Wait, yeah, I'm sitting here low key like they're here for a reason. They're here for a reason. What the fuck am I talking about? They're called over there to grab her. As sympathetic that empathetic that I am for her and her situation, her mental health and well being. What she did is not really excusable in the sense of, attacking somebody younger like that. So I'm not gonna feel all the way bad, but I will say that I wish that she would have a better support system around her.
What time was exactly? Call the hospital.
Okay. What? I was hoping.
Good Samaritan.
Disconnects from
They
reality.
took me, and you can go ahead and call them.
So
I mean,
Okay.
so don't.
Okay. So we're there.
Please, I'm sorry.
You
You're a
just,
man.
you just got released from the hospital. What happened after that? You came home.
Came home.
So what happened with your husband?
What do you think?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking
He's.
you.
Hi.
What's your last name? Hi, sorry. You just look familiar. Sorry. What happened after that?
Yeah.
She's
What happened?
very
with your husband?
thin.
Why do you keep looking at my toes? I don't like that. I don't know. You think I'm not checking out, okay?
I'm not even gonna lie, she's killing me with that. I just got home.
You go check him this time. Admit him.
She's killing
Let
me.
him go.
Did you get in an argument with your husband a few minutes ago? Like 10
Potato.
minutes or whatever?
Yes.
Okay. Did you hit him or anything?
No.
Did he hit you?
No.
Okay.
In redacted audio, the officer asks if she kicked her daughter.
Asking you.
I'm sorry. She kicked me.
She kicked you? Did you kick her?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Did you push her?
I haven't even been able to be in hands reach with that asshole and
Okay.
not running.
Yeah. So you
You know
didn't.
what? Why doesn't anyone
you
ever
didn't-
believe me?
What's your first name again?
Shannon.
Okay. Shannon, do you have an ID? Where's your ID, Shannon?
Where's my ID?
Yeah, your driver's license.
Damn, Shannon.
I know your name. And don't take me because I'm being cocky.
I don't care that
This
you're
is
just being
just
cocky.
listen. I want you to believe me.
Well, you're not telling us what happened. I've talked to you numerous times.
And what?
Okay.
You're
I
the
know
jerk.
who you are.
Shannon, why don't you
And
just
you
tell?
know what?
I'm just saying, like, you just
You know
explained
who
to me.
he is?
Yes, I've talked to him.
About what? Oh, so you believe him?
I'm not saying that. That's why I'm here talking to you, Shannon.
So tell me why you've been here numerous times.
It's
that-
fine. I have
No, it's
issues
not
with that.
fine. Don't use that against me.
Okay, so what
I'm
happened
sorry.
today? Did
Well,
you
what did happen today? Please.
after you got home at like 4 a.m, right? What happened between you and Scott? Did you guys argue the whole time until he called us? Did you lock him out of the house?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you have socks or shoes?
Why?
Okay, I need you to put socks and shoes on.
Why? I'm not going anywhere.
Well, that's what you think.
Is that what you think? That everyone barefoot on body cam gets arrested? We'll find out in a moment. But first, if you've been in an accident or seriously
You're not paying me,
lying,
bro.
just feed your
Go
life.
somewhere.
You're under arrest.
Get out of my house.
No. Okay. So turn around.
No!
You're under arrest because of domestic.
Ma'am.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
Stop.
Stop.
Yes.
Yes.
Relax.
Hold on.
Relax.
Just relax.
Just relax. Relax.
But here's my
Are you
thing.
okay?
Here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. Why not, instead of throwing them in jail, like, why can't we just put them in a situation where they're actually going to get treatment, right? Because, in Florida, here in Florida at least, I can only speak for where I'm from. They have the Baker Act. I don't know how it is in other states or how that works, but, so that only gets enforced in certain scenarios. But, like, this is one of them things where they should go ahead and put them somewhere where they can actually receive real help. Not, a place to just keep them and they'll take Medicaid. Like, no, somewhere they can actually get real help, get monitored, and have somebody that they talk to so they can actually see the path back. A lot of them don't have a path back. That's why they always stay in this cycle of lost consciousness, and they never come back from it. They don't have a support system. If only there was a hospital like an asylum. Bro, I don't know, bro. Them asylums is crazy. You see, that's where the ghost adventures go. They be treating them bad every time you see history.
You have your discharge paperwork?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. Before you...
Where's that at?
Right over there.
Okay.
Can you please come and save me from this?
He's in the car. He can't hear you.
Got powerful antipsychotics.
Do you have any shoes we can get you?
Yes, listen.
For
you
sure.
can't take-
Stop moving, please.
No.
Just relax.
I just got home.
Have good
Hold on,
people
don't
around
move.
you,
I'm
bro.
gonna
Those
fight
are
on
cool,
you.
bro.
You're gonna hurt yourself. Please stop.
You're going to hurt me now.
Where's your? So where do you
So
have shoes
I'm
at?
just going to let you take advantage of my...
Hey, stop.
Hey,
Shan.
no. Hey,
Where's your
Who's
discharge?
the
Where's
one
your
that's
shoes?
going?
Where's your shoes?
no. The discharge papers? Mom, Scott, here you go.
Huh?
Can we please get you some shoes?
No.
You want to walk out in the snow?
I know my husband's here.
He's in the car. Yes, he's in the car though, so
Okay,
he
so
can't
I'm
hear
not
you.
talking to nobody. Sorry, I didn't know that.
That's why I'm letting you know that he
Oh,
can't hear you.
you're letting
face-
me know this.
Okay, so where's your shoes at? You have
Her
shoes
face
over
got
here that you
signs
can
of
put on because
mathematics.
It's snowy and cold out.
No, I just got home. And I went there and
Can we get you some shoes?
no.
What? I don't want your feet to get cold.
Yeah.
Well, I do like you give a
We
We
do.
do.
Please. No,
on,
you
can
don't.
we get you some
If you
shoes?
gave a you would listen to everything for...
Well, I tried. You're
tried
listening.
when?
And I tried
I'm
talking.
not trying to be funny, okay? I know. You see, I barely cracked a joke the whole time. I ain't cracked no joke. I ain't cracked no joke the whole time. Give me credit, okay? Give me credit. I ain't say nothing the whole time.
To you, and you refuse to talk.
When was that?
So here's the thing. All right,
I will never-
your daughter says that you kicked her in the leg, and your husband says that you pushed him. So that's called a domestic, and you're going with us for a domestic. So to make this super easy, we want to get through this super easy. We need your shoes, and then in the discharge paperwork, because okay, it's a copy of it. So
Okay,
where's your
yes.
shoes?
I can't. It's hard for me to get this when I'm like this.
So you tell us where it is, and we'll get it.
I don't even remember where it is. It's somewhere. You don't believe me?
I believe you. I was just asking. If you can't find
I
the
swear to
discharge, that's
God.
fine. That's fine. If you can't find the paperwork, that's fine.
No,
You just need shoes.
no.
I'm gonna check that closet.
We're gonna
Okay,
find
okay.
it.
Just hold on to it.
We're gonna find it.
Whiskey 14.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. If I close my eyes, okay, this is gonna. Let me get one joke. This is gonna be my one joke. But if you close your eyes while she's talking, for some reason I hear like Willem Dafoe, like as he's waking up in the morning or something, or about to fall asleep. I know it's weird, but that's just what my brain is going to. If that even
wanna sit
is
down?
a joke, I don't know.
Okay.
Are these yours?
Are those
You don't
yours?
have to hold on to me.
I just don't want you to fall.
These are shoes?
Jeez.
Yes.
These are your shoes? Perfect.
No, I don't want shoes.
Well, you have to put
Yeah,
these
that's
on.
my
God.
shoes. I'm sorry.
Okay. I understand.
You hate me.
I
you
don't
don't
hate you.
understand. You do.
No, I don't. Do you have a phone, an ID that you want to bring with you?
With me.
Yes, but you have to come with us to the police department.
He needs to go with you.
Okay. Why?
Then
Why does
why do I have to go?
Why does Scott need to go with us?
Why do I have to go with you?
Because I told you kicked your daughter in the leg.
But I didn't.
Okay. Well, she's saying
Call
that
Here,
she
put your
kicked.
Can you call my husband?
Put
Your
shoe on.
husband is
Does-
outside talking to I talked to your husband already.
No, it is normal.
So what?
Huh?
Why does he have to go? Tell me why he
Willem?
needs to go.
Put this one on too.
I just got
Avenge
home.
I
me!
understand that.
They
you did.
let me go. So call LaGrease Hospital or Good Samaritan.
But you're not going. You're not going to. You're not going
Yes,
to.
I'm going to do what you're saying.
Okay, but you're not going to jail because you got out of the hospital. You're going to jail because for a domestic battery. That's why. Okay?
You think I overstepped him?
Pete, do you want to put your shoes on, please?
Come on, just put your shoes on. Come on.
My shoes.
Just put your shoes on.
Black guys.
Sit down. Do you need help putting it on? Do you have like? Do you have shoes that have like thick slippers?
Oh God, no! I'm sorry. I wasn't planning on getting arrested.
Put your foot in.
You wasn't planning
Hold
on
it out.
Because I don't want you to fall.
I mean, fuck you, hate me. You're an
I
ass.
don't hate you.
Sorry, no offense.
I really don't know who you are, and
But
every time I've dealt with you, you have been nice to me, so I have no reason to hate you.
Clearly dealing with mental.
I know.
I've just been through this.
I understand that you are
Taking
going through
the
a lot.
wrong person.
What?
You're taking the
Okay,
wrong
then what
person.
did Scott do? Here, your foot. Can you lift your foot up?
What did I do? Oh, they can't. Have my husband come in here and save their life.
What's
Why she keep whispering?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I'm looking at you so I can hear you. I'm not. I'm trying to hear what. I'm looking at you so I can hear what you're saying.
Please take these off of me.
What's up?
Please take these off of me.
I can't. I can't.
You can't? Why?
Because you're under arrest.
Why?
Your foot. Come on.
Why am I under
For
arrest?
domestic battery. That's why. Your foot. Come on, your
Because
foot.
who did I hurt?
Your daughter.
Are you kidding?
Stop. Sit down. Put your foot up.
Cinderella, are you ready?
Come on. It's cold outside. I don't want you walking out in the snow without any shoes. Come on.
Please put your foot in. Thank you.
Like I said, you've been nice to me every time I've dealt with you, and I
This is
understand.
a problem because
And I understand that you are going through some stuff right now. So
So
there's nothing.
give me the benefits out, and why don't
Well, I
you
can't do
knowing
that because
you
it's a
can't?
What the fuck was that? Somebody's fucking Clash of Clans?
Now, so
So give me the benefits out, and why don't
well, I
you
can't do
knowing
that because
you
it's
can't?
I can't. Unfortunately, I can't this time. I can't just give you the benefit of the doubt. If I
You
could, I
can't.
would.
Can I?
What?
If I could, I would.
If I could, yes.
Nelly Bly?
I have a camera.
Okay.
Can I prove to you that I didn't do that?
The camera shows the whole house.
Oh, I've been setting it up at my house for a long time.
Okay. So do you have a phone or an ID that you want to take with
I
you?
do.
Where's it at?
Across the driveway here,
Where's your phone and your ID? Call us and we'll grab it for you.
Oh my God! You stop treating me, please, like
But
you
you
did
can't grab it
something
'cause
wrong.
You
No,
didn't-
I can't grab it.
I know. So we're trying to help you out.
I don't have an ID because
Okay,
it's
that's
taken.
fine. That's fine. Do you have
You
a
should
cell
know
phone? Do you have a cell phone you want
Oh,
to
I
take?
sure do.
Where's it at?
Doesn't matter.
Do you, okay.
I don't need it for anything.
Okay,
I
that's
just
fine.
want someone to wipe my nose, wipe my tears.
Okay. You have a paper? Is there paper
You know
towels in
what?
here?
Oh,
That
you don't believe me?
pause.
Can you just call? I swear to God, I'm not lying.
Okay. All right. All right. You ready? We're gonna go walk up to my squad car. Okay. Come on.
They say, fuck your tears.
Come on.
Here comes my mom.
Fuck your snot, fuck your tears.
Just slow down.
That shit
No,
gonna
I'm not
melt.
slowing
It's
down.
no. I
just
don't want you to.
have-
I don't want you to fall.
It's gonna melt. Bruh, I could not be in that weather, bro. Like, it's cool to
Here's my
visit
mom.
it, but I'm okay.
Come on.
You're going away because. There you go, Mom.
Now she's talking like Conor McGregor.
No, I'm not going to take these.
Come on. Come on. We're gonna keep walking.
I never
Come on.
touched her.
Come on. Stop. Hold on.
Who
Hold on.
does? Who does?
Come on. Let's go. Don't talk to her.
Please stop.
Come on.
Please stop.
No one's talking.
Relax.
That's crazy, man.
Coming from who?
Just get her the right help, though. Don't just cycle this thing.
1 second.
Funny.
Sit there.
Nothing is funny.
Okay.
All right.
Let's have a seat. Sit first, okay?
Mom,
Sit down. Thank you.
can you uncuff me? Because I have skin graft
Okay. When we get
and
to the
it
station,
hurts.
I
Oh,
understand.
you
that.
think I'm going to hurt you?
Stop, stop. Hold on, let me see it. If it's tight, I will loosen it. Okay, stop. Put them behind your back because you're tightening it. Sit straight up. There you go, okay. We'll take them off when I get to the station, okay? I promise you.
Baiting her up.
I know you will.
I will, I promise.
I know you will.
All right.
Jesus God. I had her help her. I had her help her.
She just like, You know what I mean? That's dangerous.
I had her help her.
Straight face.
Twice. This happened to me. Anyone believe me? No one. I need psychiatric help coming from the person that's
Sound like Brooke Davis from One Tree Hill.
I just found this out. Oh, she's nuts. She's nuts. She's losing her mind. Oh, no, I'm
Don't
not.
stick your thing in crazy. For sure.
Please.
I wouldn't.
I can't. My daughter. Go ask her. I don't know what she said. I didn't do anything to hurt her. I never. She went like that to me. You know what? It's about to get real.
She sound like Steve-O. I know I keep having these comparisons. But she talk like Steve-O.
Why don't you get on the road? Sorry. Good job. You're an idiot. You're an asshole, Mom.
Your mom has nothing to do with this.
Do you have any idea what I found out tonight? My mom has nothing to do with this. She's f***ing my husband.
Oh.
Okay.
Now, is she
Why are
thinking
you
that,
doing this to
or
me? Please don't.
is that
Why are you doing this to me?
what she's
This is
doing?
unfair. This is really unfair. I'm not going to say anything.
Bro, y'all neighborhoods look like this, bro?
Her.
Alternate universe, William Dafoe.
She's disgusting.
Can you print Shannon's
Go ahead.
27
Please.
That's
Please
William
look me up.
DeFriend.
Oh, you just can't do it, huh? You believe them versus me.
I don't think your
No.
9-year-old daughter is gonna
You
lie.
don't think my 9-year-old
9?
daughter is lying?
No.
Cookie
That's
cutter.
what 9-year-olds do. Do you have kids?
I do
Snow
not.
like that.
Well, there you go. Ugh, 9-year-olds lie. Well, so do grown adults.
They certainly do. The suspect was charged
That's a nice
with 2
picture,
counts
though.
of domestic battery. At the time of this production, she has an upcoming court date on April the 15th,
Oh, that
2025.
passed. Or-
These people are going to hell in a handbasket.
In winter, not in the end of April, usually, anyway. Well, you know what I'm saying? This video right here, guys, mental health is big to me. You know, that I got a soft spot for that topic. But I would say that I would love for her to actually get the proper help that she needs. Just because it can easily go overlooked. It's easy to be like, oh, she's crazy, this, that, and the third. Forget about these people or whatever the case may be. But it's all about a support system. Like, a good support system really goes a long way. But at the same time, the person that is suffering, they have to put in that work. And they have to put in that effort to want to do that. You know, because it's a day after day thing, you know. So that was definitely a good one to watch. Good little interesting one. Okay, what is it? 9:19. Time's not bad. We on pretty good time right now. Decent time right now. All right. All right. I ain't gonna lie to you. My junk hurt. Junk hurt. Alright, so I'm let me see. I can't lie to y'all, bro. My stomach killing me. I'm trying to see if I can record one more, because I want to record one more video before I go off stream. But if I go for a break right now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if I could come back. I don't know if it's one of them recovery nights. I don't know what I ate today. Boy, that shit's fucking me to shreds. Jeez. Gosh. Oh my goodness. I can't even hide it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. But I can't. I was thinking about it in my head during the 4 disturbing video. You know, the scary video. I was trying to scare myself to shit, you know, like scare myself shitless. That's wild. Why would I do that? That's not good. Why do I keep hitting that button? It's not even the time for me to hit it. I just like hitting it. I like the way that it sounds. Pause. What is wrong with you? All right, let's get for real. We're going to lock in. So, this video right here is coming from a toilet stream is wild, Potato. Toilet stream is crazy work. We cool, but I don't know if we that cool yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a long way to go. Long way to go. But this video right here, it's an interesting channel I never seen before. Trust me, bro. I don't know if y'all ever seen it, though. Title of this one, The Biggest Scams in Human History. Now, I'm not going to waste that much time. Me and you got a lot of history. So just make sure you hit that like button for the algorithm, man. Uncle Lou. Share the video with someone next to you. Then hit that subscription with that notification muscle. On the way to 10K in 2025. I don't know what David thinking, but I know this month, probably next month, we going to get that 8K, right?
Scams.
Now, without further ado, niece, nephew, Uncle Lou. Biggest scams in history.
The Charles Ponzi scheme. The word Ponzi probably sounded familiar to you and instantly made you think of fraud or scams or schemes. And you're exactly right. Ponzi schemes are an extremely well-known and unfortunately well-used type of scam. But what I'm discussing is the original Ponzi scheme, named after Charles Ponzi, a man who ran one of the largest financial scams of his time and was so influential with his scams that they literally named the method of fraud after him. Charles Ponzi didn't necessarily invent the Ponzi scheme technique, but he did have one of the most impactful uses of it originally, making him the grandfather of financial fraud,
Colonel Sanders,
and the Ponzi scheme. Charles was born on March 3rd, 1882, and he had likely one of the longest names I've ever seen. His full name was Carlo Pietro Giovanni Guglielmo Tebaldo Ponzi. That's right, that's 6 names. Like, is it 1 first name, 4 middle names, and 1 last name? 2 first names, 2 middle names, 2 last names? 6 first names? I don't know. It may not come as a surprise that Mr. Charles' 6th-name Ponzi was born in northern Italy, in case the names didn't already give that away. According to interviews and his own biography, Ponzi found a love for earning and spending money at a young age. And he even said, quote, spending money seemed the most attractive thing on earth. Now, that's easy to say when you're spending time in universities with your rich friends and they're covering your tab. But once you need to start paying your own bills, that's when things get tough. And that's exactly what happened to Charles Ponzi, as he ended up leaving university with no money in his pocket and no diploma to show for his time at the school. And because of this, Ponzi decided that his best course of action was to follow in the footsteps of some of his family members and go to America to seek new opportunities. Now, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, that was relatively common, and a lot of Italians were emigrating to the United States from Italy, although not many of them ended up doing what Ponzi did. After arriving in America, Ponzi worked odd jobs, trying to get some sort of cash flow in this new life he had begun.
Like
although he couldn't hold the job down for long because he was often caught stealing. Once he likely burned too many bridges in the States, he then decided to move to Canada. Once in Canada, he found his first real career as a bank teller at a bank that was specifically made for Italian immigrants coming to Canada. He was obviously a shoo-in, and because of this, combined with his people skills, he was able to quickly climb the ladder of the company. And this really marks the turning point, where his petty theft turns into widespread financial fraud. Now, it wasn't with this bank where he committed the fraud that we're going to end up discussing, although it's definitely where the seed was planted, because the bank that he was working for actually ended up going under, because the founder of this bank, Luigi Zarassi, was actually running a Ponzi scheme out of this bank.
How the fuck could he be running a scheme on a nigga whose scheme it is? That don't make sense. How the fuck is it a Ponzi scheme?
Offering high interest rates to customers.
You can't
and
be running a Ponzi scheme on a nigga.
New deposits. And once this bank collapsed, Ponzi's career also collapsed, leaving him once again with no money and no direction. And during this time, he actually got caught with a fake check and went to prison for 3 years, which he served, and then after his time was up, he went back to the United States. And once back in the States, he obviously started a new life, right? He was a clean man. He went to jail. He learned his lesson. No. His first job, once back in the States, was actually smuggling Italian immigrants into the United States, which he got caught for and served an additional 2 years. And after this second stint in jail and 2 more failed businesses, Ponzi decided that it was time to get rich, for real. And this is where his big scheme and all of his criminal career comes together. and he decides to run his first Ponzi scheme. Now, we're going to be talking about Ponzi schemes a lot, so if you're not familiar with what a Ponzi scheme is, in short, it's the old adage of robbing Peter to pay Paul. What you essentially do is take money from Group A. Let's say Group A gives you money because you tell them you're going to double their money. And then you get Group B and C to give you money under the same deal that you're going to help them double their money. You take Group B and C's money and give it to Group A. You officially now doubled their money. But now Group B and C want their money doubled, right? So you need.
Have y'all ever been in a Ponzi scheme before? Have you ever got caught up in a Ponzi scheme? Like, it's actually not a good feeling, bro. Like, I've actually got caught up in it, bro. It's to get scammed and to know that you're getting scammed. Like, you're watching yourself actively get scammed, but you're trying to have faith in whatever's going on. You're trying to give it hope. Oh my, it's not good for nobody involved. And it's even worse if you get other people to come under you, bro. Oh my gosh. The bring your friends thing.
Group D and E,
oh
new investors
goodness.
to pay Group C and B. And essentially, it's a never-ending cycle where you need new people to pay off old debts, while at the same time keeping the entire lie concealed that you actually don't have the money that you say you have, and that there is no investment or accumulation of wealth going on. You're simply perpetually in debt and allowing new investors to pay the debt to old investors, and nobody's really making money. And as soon as you stop getting new investors, everything falls apart. That's the long and short of a Ponzi scheme. But what makes a Ponzi scheme so insane is the scale that some people take it, which is what we're going to discuss. So after jail and failed business after failed business after failed job, how exactly did Charles Ponzi plan to get rich? What was the original Ponzi scheme? It actually involved postage coupons. Obviously, in the early 1900s, like literally 1906, there was no iMessage, there was no Instagram, there's no text, there's nothing. And letters were huge. And during this time, there was something known as an international reply coupon. And what it was basically a courtesy. Let's say that you're in the United States and you're writing a letter to your friend in the United Kingdom. You might pay 25 cents to send your letter to your friend. But as a courtesy, you might not want to make them spend their own money to reply to you because they didn't ask for you to reach out to them, right? So this international reply coupon is something that you would buy, put in the letter that you're sending to your friend, so that when your friend opened the letter, they had a coupon to send you a letter back free of charge to them, because you already paid for it. Makes sense and seems simple enough. But to Ponzi, this wasn't simply a courtesy, this was an arbitrage opportunity. You see, as a scammer, Ponzi was always looking for people to pick up his business ideas. And because of that, he was sending letters constantly to people that he was pitching business ideas to. And one day, he got a letter back from a company in Spain. And this company included an international reply coupon in the letter. And one thing that Ponzi noticed was that the price on this international reply coupon from Spain was different than the price of the ones he could buy in the States. Now, this is interesting because on paper, all of the coupons are supposed to have the same cash price. But because of World War I, inflation affected different areas differently, meaning that although the prices may have remained the same, the values of the currencies have not, which meant that there was an opportunity for Ponzi to make some money. For simple math, let's say that you in the United States could buy one of these reply coupons for 5 cents USD, and your friend in the United Kingdom could buy a stamp for 5 pence. Assuming at one point these currencies had the exact same value, both you and your friend are paying the same amount for these coupons. However, let's say inflation affected the UK more than it did.
Potato say a Ponzi scheme. For Ponzi scheme, the person also takes a cut. The animation shows all the money being given away. Now, even though I know it's kind of confusing because he keeps running his fucking sideways T mouth the whole fucking time, but the Ponzi scheme shit, you do have a point. The person does take a cut if you're in on the scheme, right? Sometimes they'll just bring you in, make you think that you're gonna make money. Whole time you're the one getting the clientele. You're getting the roster up. You're the one bringing the people. And you're thinking you're going to get money.
The US
you might get a fraction.
World War I, and now the Great British Pound is worth 10% less compared to the US dollar. There's an opportunity, because while the prices of each of these items is still the same, the relative value of the money that your friend in the UK is buying them for is less. Meaning that if you converted 500 US dollars for 550 Great British Pounds, you could get 11,000 international reply coupons. And if you sold those 11,000 international reply coupons in the United States, you would get 550 US dollars. So through this clever strategy, you were able to turn $500 into $550. And that's the basis of this scam. And while that process is known as arbitrage and isn't a scam, that's just an opportunity that exists between markets, what Ponzi ended up doing definitely was a scam. Ponzi started claiming that he could give people big returns because of this arbitrage opportunity. And he told potential investors that he had people all across Europe that were buying up these coupons in bulk, shipping them to the States where he was selling them for a profit. And that if you as an investor were looking to make some money, simply give him your money, he will buy these coupons and give you a return. And the return that he was claiming was massive. He claimed a 50% return in 45 days or an 100% return in 90 days. And if you're familiar with investing at all, those are insane returns. Now here's the thing. Experienced investors at the time weren't falling for Ponzi's scheme. They knew his pitch seemed too good to be true. And when they pushed him about how this money was being made, Ponzi refused to give information under the guise that it would help the competition. This obviously wasn't satisfactory to high-level investors, and for that reason they were interested. However, Ponzi was definitely able to fool the common folk, people who had aspirations of getting rich quick and didn't really know any better. And that ended up becoming the basis of the company that he had just started, the Securities Exchange Company, a company that would go on to become one of the largest scams of all time. Because of the massive returns that Ponzi was claiming and initially paying out, the word spread like wildfire. And it wasn't long until he had thousands and thousands of customers investing millions of dollars directly with him. And it's claimed that at the height of his career, he was pulling in over $250,000 per day, which is over $3 million a day in today's money. But in case this wasn't already obvious, nobody
a day? Hold on, I'm pulling up my calculator. I'm pulling out my calculator. Hold on. I'm trying to do that bit time 365. That shit, bro. That shit broke my. The shit broke my calculator, bro. Shit got letters in it. It's like 1.059 E9. Like, bro, what? That shit saying you got. It's just it's so much fucking money. All right. You're not working no more.
He was buying these international reply coupons at all. Although that was technically
bro, you don't even need to work 10 days.
The operational logistics of operating that sort of scheme would have made no sense for investors. As after you paid people to buy these coupons, ship them overseas, and sell them domestically, that small 10% margin would have been eaten up. And if inflation ended up changing in any of these markets that they were operating in, the entire thing could have fallen apart anyways. That being said, Ponzi was telling investors that their money was going to fund this arbitrage opportunity, when in reality, it was going into his bank account, funding his lavish lifestyle, and paying out old investors. But all of the fun and games did not last long, because in the summer of 1920, everything came crashing down for Charles Ponzi. Essentially, what happened was Charles was not only getting popularity through word of mouth, but he was now getting media coverage. And one of the biggest newspapers in Boston, which he was living in at the time, posted a story about him and his rags to riches story, and how he was able to provide such unheard of returns to his investors. It was great publicity and earned him additional millions. However, this newfound attention gathered to investigate him. And shortly after this great PR came hit pieces, which weren't even hit pieces. They were just basically saying, hey, this guy has no money. Go get your money. And at that point, investors were like, yeah, I would like to get my money. And once it was proven that Charles Ponzi was not only insolvent, but also a criminal with a record in Canada and the States, investors were furious. And almost like a bank run, everybody wanted their money at once, which is obviously impossible with the Ponzi scheme, and the house of cards officially collapsed. It was later confirmed that Ponzi never sold any international reply coupons within the United States, and at the time of his arrest was $7 million in debt. Keep in mind, this is 1920 money. Charles Ponzi ended up being convicted of mail fraud, and the collapse of his Ponzi scheme actually resulted in the subsequent collapse of 6 other banks. And of course, the financial hardship and ruin of the tens of thousands of investors that trusted Charles Ponzi with their money. Some fortunate investors did receive 30 cents on the dollar back, and some received nothing back at all. In total,
bro, can you imagine that happening today? Could you imagine you losing your bank account off of one person? One person. And the fact they got locked up, you wouldn't even want them to get locked up at that point. At least until you can find another banking.
Investors
you
at the
wouldn't
time
even trust
lost
a
around
bank.
$20 million, which calculated for today's money is over $300 million. Keep in mind, this is only over the course of literally a year. The scheme only started to gain traction in 1919, and the entire house of cards collapsed in 2020. And this was also 100 years ago, when the population
1920.
and the entire house of cards collapsed in 2020. And this was also 100 years ago, when the population was much smaller and financial markets were not nearly as developed as they were today. Regardless, Charles Ponzi is a pioneer of fraud and scams, which is definitely nothing to be proud of. And while this definitely isn't the biggest financial scam to ever happen, or even the most famous example of a Ponzi scheme happening, this was the first official Ponzi scheme. And Charles Ponzi is a grandfather of fraud. And for that reason, I knew his story deserved the first spot on this list. I could make an entire video about the craziest Ponzi schemes ever, but I wanted to keep this video about scams diverse. And for that reason, I decided why not pick the original. Let's move on. The Elizabeth Holmes scandal. What happens when you mix amazing PR with one of the most innovative and impactful medical devices to ever be invented? Well, you would get the youngest female self-made billionaire. And her name is Elizabeth Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes went to Stanford University, where she dropped out at the age of 19. And she dropped out because she had bigger plans. She had plans of revolutionizing the entire medical industry. And in 2003, she founded the company in which she was going to do that with. The original name of the company was Real-Time Cures, but it was shortly after renamed to Theranos, a company that is now known as one of the largest scams in venture capital and human history. In 2004, only a year after its founding, Holmes was able to raise a total of $6 million in funding for her healthcare project. And in 6 short years, by the end of 2010, her company Theranos had over 9...
Oh, this snake oil. So she's a snake oil salesman. Okay.
Holmes was able to raise a total of $6 million in funding for her healthcare project. And in 6 short years, by the end of 2010, her company Theranos had over $92 million in venture capital investments, which basically just means rich business people invested in her company to help it grow so they could make a return on their investment. The reason why Elizabeth was able to gather almost $100 million in investor funds in only 7 years after founding the company isn't because she was the smoothest talker of all time, or because she had the craziest arbitrage opportunity. She had a very compelling idea in a market that was extremely profitable. As I mentioned, Theranos is a healthcare company, and the specific goal of Theranos was to develop a machine that could provide the most accurate and comprehensive analysis of your current health through only a minuscule few drops of blood. And the reason she claimed to have had this idea is because she was very scared of needles and realized that blood testing required a lot of blood and a lot of needles. Although, if you could develop a technology that only required a finger prick to gather important health information, more people would be willing to get this sort of testing. Testing could be done more easily and accessibly, and ultimately lives could be improved and even saved. Just think about it. If you could walk into a Walgreens, prick your finger, put a drop of blood onto a machine and know basically everything about your body, diseases you might be at risk for, diseases you might have, and deficiencies you may have, why wouldn't you do that? And this, obviously simplified, is the story that Elizabeth Holmes was selling, specifically in the form of the Edison, the machine that Theranos was developing to do all of this magic work, where it could take a few drops of blood and analyze it and even diagnose the patient. Now, obviously, this is a video about scams, not medical breakthroughs, so what gives? Holmes had really big ideas, but unfortunately, she lacked big execution and integrity. See, in Silicon Valley, the idea of this up-and-coming medical company with the amazing results was gaining popularity, and obviously that showed with the investments being made. But Holmes' scheme was only further given credibility by the people she was surrounding herself by, specifically well-known, successful, and credible investors, and also board members, as well as former and current members of the United States government. And this was intentional on her part. She wanted to make herself and her company seem legit as possible, which is interesting because for a while, Theranos was in quote-unquote stealth mode, which essentially meant that it was not publicly facing at all. There was no website, no social media, simply a behind-the-scenes product that investors were getting in early before it went to market. Theranos at its peak was valued at over $9 billion, and even had a partnership with Walgreens, one of the largest pharmacy chains in the entire United States. And this is actually where part of the scam—
What the fuck? How did she get— She partnered with Walgreens, Nick, like not even on some like
over $9 billion.
Oh, that's a buzzword. But look at this, like Think about this. You started a company from scratch in not even less than a decade. Less than a decade? Come
actually
on.
where part of the scam gets dark, because this partnership involved Walgreens using Theranos' Edison device to diagnose patients.
Snapping on
but
her.
here's the deal. And this is kind of the encompassing issue with this entire situation. Theranos never had a working product. This Edison machine never worked as described. They claimed with a drop of blood, you could have over 200 tests performed, but that was simply never the case. And not only could it not do that, what it did do was typically inaccurate. And obviously, when you're having inaccuracies medically at scale, you are going to have dire consequences. People getting misdiagnosed. And as a consequence, people could die. Now, for the medical victims, there is a bit of a silver lining, because Theranos knew that their machine was inaccurate and didn't work fully, if at all. And for that reason, they were sneakily doing third-party lab testing, essentially outsourcing their blood work to other companies that do legitimate blood work, which at least doesn't put patients at risk, but is fraud when you are telling investors that you are using a proprietary machine and you are still lying to medical patients. If you are telling them that, oh, yeah, you just need a prick of blood, and then you show up at the office and they're like, oh, actually, we need to draw blood for you, but not everybody, only we need to draw blood from you, but everybody else gets a finger prick. Just in this situation, you need to get blood drawn. It is still deception in a medical setting, which is never okay. And for all the investors that thought that they were getting in early to this revolutionary medical device, they were actually funding nothing of the sort. And that's where things begin to fall. Because in 2015, a whistleblower from within the Theranos company brought his concerns to a Wall Street Journal journalist. And together, they exposed the lies about the technology and how Theranos was using traditional lab equipment and lying about basically any real innovation. And this is when the floodgates opened. Because the following year, in 2016, Walgreens terminated their partnership with Theranos and closed all of their in-store testing centers. And because of this, major investors began to withdraw from the company and even demanded their money back. And only a few years later, in 2018, criminal charges were placed. After a lengthy court proceeding where Elizabeth Holmes claimed her innocence confidently and proudly, she was eventually convicted of 3 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, which is honestly a bit light in my opinion. Regardless, she was sentenced to over 11 years in prison, where she currently resides to this day. So yeah, this is really a heartbreaking story for many reasons. Elizabeth Holmes seemed like such a promising,
I've seen this picture before. This picture I've seen before.
Entrepreneur, and on the surface seemed to pave a
no,
path
it's not,
for
I've
female
seen it earlier in this
entrepreneurs
video.
and the entire medical industry. However, in reality, she was just a female Steve Jobs wannabe with the craziest eyes you've ever seen and a complete disregard for investor funds, any sort of transparency, or for accurate results for the patients that they were working with. Investors were credited back whatever funds were currently available, and hundreds of people lost their jobs. As at their height, Theranos had over 800 employees. This story is a really great example of why you should never believe everything you hear. And just because somebody says a lot of fancy words and claims to do things that you don't understand definitely doesn't mean that they actually understand or can do what they're saying. But we still have one more scam to discuss in this video. If you've enjoyed this video so far about the craziest scams in human history and would like to see a part 2 with more crazy scams and Ponzi schemes, please either leave a like to show support on this video or literally comment below part 2. If the response is overwhelming, I will definitely...
It's because I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were thinking that. Because I remember seeing that picture earlier, and I know somebody, if you didn't say it now in this live stream, when this video dropped, somebody was going to comment it, and I was going to be like, oh my gosh, I should have just said it.
Definitely make a part 2.
That happens all the time.
There is more than enough insane scams to cover, and I simply can't put them all in one video. But now let's discuss the final entry on this video, the Enron scandal. So far, we've discussed Ponzi schemes, medical fraud, and for this final story, we're discussing accounting scandals. Enron was an American energy, commodities, and service-based company based in Houston, Texas, and it was founded by Kenneth Lay. And if an energy, commodities, and service company sounds confusing, it is. And that kind of played into their favor. For simplicity, I'll refer to Enron as an energy company, but they did a lot under their corporate umbrella. Enron was born out of a merger between the Houston Natural Gas Company and Internorth, 2 relatively small energy companies that existed existed separately before they obviously merged. And from that merger in 1985 all the way up into the year 2000, Enron grew seemingly exponentially, and not only grew as an appetizing investment opportunity, but also appeared to be a great employment opportunity as well. And at their peak in 2001, Enron had over 20,000 employees, which is a lot of people whose livelihood depends on the success of your company. Your employees' medication, your employees' children's education, your employees' retirement fund, and their mortgage all depend on the income that they make from working for you. And the reason why I'm emphasizing this is for a reason we'll get into. From the merger into the year 2000, Enron seemed publicly to be able to do no wrong. And by the year 2000, almost everybody with a brain was investing in Enron because of how profitable and successful the company was. They were innovative when it came to commodities trading, and they appeared to be the top of their field. And Fortune magazine even named Enron America's most innovative company for 6 consecutive years in a row. So of course, there was nothing going on behind the scenes, right? You know what video you're watching. That obviously wasn't the case. Just look at this. From 1998 to 2000, this is what the stock price looked like. This is a very healthy, good-looking stock, right? Now, this is what the stock chart looks like from 2000 until the end of 2001. Yeah, from over $80 to under 80 cents in a year. Enron's house of cards also collapsed.
Oh my gosh! That's insane!
Stock chart looks like from 2000 until the end of 2001. Yeah, from over 80.
Bro, $80 to 80 cents?
$80.
Oh my god.
To under 80 cents in a year. Enron's house of cards also collapsed, but it wasn't because they were running a Ponzi scheme.
Could you imagine? Bro, when they tell you to not put all your eggs in one basket, this is a reason why, because something unprecedented like that just happens. A major company like that just falls,
they had a
and if you got all your eggs in one basket, you lost it all.
Absolutely fraudulently manipulating their accounting to make their numbers seem way better than they actually were. They publicly disclosed false information to try to deceive investors and company stakeholders. And for a while, it worked, until it didn't. Let me give an example of one of the ways they manipulated their accounting to make their revenues look better than they were. In the year 2000, right before their bankruptcy and collapse, Enron actually signed a 20-year contract with Blockbuster. The goal was to develop an experimental online streaming service of sorts for videos, which, if it worked,
oh my gosh, I don't even have to watch the rest of the video to tell you that this shit failed miserably. We used to go to Blockbuster every Monday and every Tuesday when I was a kid, because my dad was off back then. And we would go pick a movie, me and my sister. All three of us would go, but my little sister was very, very young. But like, we would all pick a movie every Tuesday. So like, the fact that there's no Blockbusters no more, and they went and did a 20-year contract in 2000. There was no Blockbusters in 2020. There was no Blockbuster.
Could have been huge, but unfortunately the technology never worked.
They
and
tried
only a few
to
years
Netflix.
into this contract, Blockbuster actually ended the partnership. Here's the problem.
They tried to
Enron,
Redbox.
at the beginning of the partnership, anticipated that this partnership would bring Enron over $100 million in revenue. So, on their projections and in their numbers, they added an extra $100 million. Although, in reality, the partnership brought nothing of the sort and was even ended shortly after. That's a massive oversimplification of that specific situation, although it kind of paints a picture of how they were trying to be as generous as possible when it came to their revenue numbers. Imagine the friend who always talks about the stuff they're gonna do, but you know they're never gonna do it. It's basically, it's kind of like that, you know? They're counting money that's not actually in their hands yet, which in business and in life is extremely unwise. But Enron wasn't only fudging their revenue.
Don't talk about it before you do it. Just make it happen, bro. Just make it happen. You don't even gotta talk about it, bro.
Numbers. They were also hiding a lot of their debt, and they did this in a clever yet simple way. Essentially, they would take Enron's debt and pass it to side corporations that would literally only exist to hold debt. And this worked because on the balance sheet for Enron, that debt wasn't there. So let's just say for simple numbers, Enron had $100 in debt, but they only wanted to tell their investors they had $20 in debt. Well, they would have two side side companies that would each hold $40 in debt, removing a total of $80 of debt out of Enron's accounting. This very deceptive strategy allowed Enron to essentially reduce 80% of their debt instantly without actually solving their money problems. Them over-reporting their revenue and under-reporting their debt gave millions of investors and thousands of employees false confidence in the company that they were either invested in or working for. Now, if you're familiar with publicly traded companies, you may be asking, how is this even possible? If you're publicly traded, you have to be audited. And well, they were audited. But the people that were auditing Enron were paid by Enron, and they were paid handsomely to not look too closely into things. And once again, this all began to fall apart when public scrutiny began to rear its ugly head. As in 2001, analysts and journalists both started questioning Enron's financial practices. And after further investigation, the truth came out, investors lost all confidence in the company, and the stock price collapsed within months. And unsurprisingly, in that same year, Enron filed for bankruptcy. And at the time, it was the largest corporate bankruptcy in US history, and still is one of the largest of all time. The two primary people to blame for this entire situation were Ken Lay, the man who founded Enron initially through the merger, and the company's CEO, Jeffrey Skeeling. And because of this, both of these men were sentenced. Skeeling was sentenced to 24 years, but only served 14, and also paid a $45 million fine. Ken Lay, on the other hand, actually ended up passing away at the age of 64 in between the time of trial and conviction. The collapsing house of cards.
Boy, he got lucky. He lived one hell of a life. I'm so serious. He lived one hell of a life, because that's something that, bro, everybody's not going to go to experience something like that. You're touching hundreds of millions of dollars, running a company, scamming people. Don't even get to tell the story, bro.
Cards for Ken Lay and Jeffrey Skeeling was one thing. And honestly, I don't feel bad for them at all. But who I do feel bad for are all the investors and the over 20,000 employees who not only lost their jobs in a company that was lying to the public, but also lost their entire retirement savings, which many of these employees had almost primarily in Enron stock, which was now worthless. That is adding insult to injury. Not only did you lose your job, but your only nest egg, your only savings, your only thing that could kind of, float you between jobs was also wiped out almost essentially in an instant. And keep in mind, these 20,000 employees, I'm sure plenty of them had families and plenty of them had kids. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people ended up getting divorced or even ended up ending their lives because of the stress of losing their career and their entire retirement because their boss couldn't tell the truth. And for investors that weren't employees of Enron, in total, they lost billions of dollars due to this elaborate accounting fraud. And once this entire situation was fully made public, rules and regulations in regards to accounting for publicly traded companies were severely tightened up because the Enron accounting scandal proved quite obviously that there was massive gaps where fraud could easily happen. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. These three examples I told are definitely three of the craziest global scams to ever happen in human history. But they're definitely not the only major crazy scams to ever happen. If you want more, I'd be happy to provide. Just let me know in the comments below. If you're still looking for some Trust Me Bro content to watch,
bro, this was a solid little video right here by Trust Me Bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Ponzi scheme thing, like I talked about earlier in the video, like, getting scammed is one of the worst feelings ever. But another worst feeling is probably bringing somebody else to a scam unknowingly. You know what I'm saying? That's a terrible feeling. Because then once everything gets uncovered, you just like, oh my gosh. Not only did I get hit, but I brought people in. So now, you know what I'm saying? It's like I dragged them into this mess. Oh, yeah, man. But what y'all doing? What y'all doing? We finna wrap up. I ain't gonna be doing nothing too long tonight. It's the middle of the week. But I do want to get more. I want to get more videos in throughout the week. This week was just more draining. Work is getting more draining. I gotta muster up more mental capacity for you guys and for myself, bro. Like, it hurts me to like give my all outside and not be able to give to this, like I want to always give to this, like every day. Like I want to give to this every day, no matter what. Man, y'all quiet tonight, man, but that's okay. I ain't tripping. It's 954. It's a quiet night, a chill night. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna be a toilet stream. That's why we doing this. But I ain't gonna lie to you too. When I get up in the morning, let me tell y'all something. Yeah, Bless, you missed the joke. You probably missed the joke by like five minutes. Toilet stream. You ain't getting a toilet stream. That's crazy work. But bro, I ain't gonna lie. You know, one thing I don't like about like work, and this would probably, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna tell y'all what I do. I'm not gonna say my job. I'm not gonna do all that stuff. But I'm not going to. This would probably be one of the only times I do talk about work. That's what I'm gonna say. Because I can't stand work when I'm not there. You know, like when I'm not there, I don't like talking about it. But this is what I will say. I'm at a point where it's annoying, right? It's annoying. It's annoying to know that the people that's in there, not only do you not want to be there too, but they're complaining about every little thing. Bro, I don't want to be here as much as you. I do not want to be here as much as you. I swear. Bro, probably even more. But I'm not coming in here to make myself unpleasant for nobody, bro. Like, it's the worst thing in the world. I don't get it. Like, if you don't want to be there, just leave. And I know Bill's probably telling you to stay. Nah, fuck him. If for real. If you gonna act like that. My dad said something interesting to me before too, because I remember having the same kind of conversation with him. And he's like, you know, just, I don't know why some people don't just, you know, hit the clock, go home, and when they call and ask what happened, just say, I quit, you know? And I didn't think about it like that. I'm like, dang, that's pretty extreme. But yeah, it's facts. If you don't want to be there, bro, just quit. If you don't want to be there, go home. Keep it simple. But don't make it unpleasant for somebody else, bro. Like I have the understanding that I'm not the only person that occupies the space, bro. Dang. And then there's gonna be the other thing that I bring up, and I'm gonna get off the whole work topic. But then it's just the whole. I don't know if y'all ever had to work for people, bro. This is why I can't stand working for people. Cause it's one thing to be a good worker, bro, but then you just become reliable, and then reliable becomes a double-edged sword, bro. Cause then they always need you for something, or like they always expect you to do the one thing, bro. You don't have to give 2 weeks. It's not a law. Man, they could suck my you know what I'm saying? 2 weeks. I ain't give no 2 weeks. I did a 2 weeks. When I did it, I didn't even do it 2 weeks. But I'll never do it 2 weeks. Just because when they fire you, they're not giving you a 2 weeks. They barely giving you 2 minutes. They're gonna give you that. They're gonna give you a 2-day. That's what it's called. A 2-day. You're not getting a 2 weeks. When they fire you, they give you a 2-day. And they don't even think twice about that shit. Because then when you think about it, it's like, bro, everybody looking for a job, bro. They fire you. It's like somebody's, about 6 more people walking in that door looking for a job. Yeah, though. That's facts. They don't give a shit. That's like when I go over there too, like I feel like, and it, again, this is gonna be the last time I get off on work. But I just have this, it just bothers me. Cause the role that I do, it involves a lot of like talking and yapping, which you guys are kind of seeing me do that. So you kind of can see me do it. But like I'm doing a lot throughout the day. So like to have somebody who is he's overseeing you, like they're in a higher position than you. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's one of the most frustrating things. And I'm starting to get into that more as I've gotten older. Like, cause you sitting here, you watching this, and you know they fucking off. They bullshitting, they doing this, that, and the third. They don't even care about what they're doing for real. They just there. And they, like, you know what I'm saying? That's cool or whatnot. But, dog, this is who's gonna tell me what I gotta do. I have to listen to this person. I had to listen to you, bro. And you can't even chew and walk gum at the same time, and I gotta listen to you. You can't even chew and walk. You know what I'm saying? Can't even chew gum and walk. But that's why I say I don't talk about it that much. Again, that's gonna be the last time I talk about it. But it's because I do not want to be ungrateful. I don't want to be ungrateful because I understand, bro. We all gotta do what we gotta do. You come into work thinking it's a normal day, then at the end of your shift, they ask to talk. Nah, I'm gonna call in sick. Next day I'm coming. Bro, that's the thing too, bro. They gonna have you work a whole day before they fire you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I could give you a whole. I'll do that another time, like a story time of like how I got fired from my first job. It was Macy's. That's a whole long story, bro. I worked there. I didn't even work there that long, but I got stories for days. Like you would have thought I worked there 10 years. Knucklehead. And you caught the lie. Yeah, you caught the lie, but you kind of caught the tail end of it. But I'm glad that you in here. We just chopping it up right now. But the thing with that, just to condense that part of the getting fired story, bro, the way they fired me was on some, you had to call the number. You had to call this number because it was on some suspension shit. It's a long story again. But you had to call the number. Bro, when you call the number, they're literally gonna tell you, yeah, you're fired. I don't know how long they take to find that shit, but they'll go and they'll read it in the system or whatever. And they probably have it in their face already, but they're gonna go do let me go check. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing here, it says terminated. So why the fuck y'all told me to sit here and call y'all back? What the fuck? You told me to call y'all and let you know when I'm gonna be back on the schedule. But you got me sitting here like a goofy. If you'd have told me I was fired the night before, like you were supposed to, I would have just took it. But you got me sitting here. I know I got to clock in later that day. I'm supposed to work at 5. Bro, it's 12. So I'm like, bro, let me get shit right so I can get to work. I called him, bro, before 2 p.m. I don't have a job no more. So what the fuck? That shit was crazy. That was my first job ever, bro. I was like 19. I worked my whole probation period, and the day off, the owners wanted to fire me. After saying they wanted to fire me for illegal reasons. So they tried to like plan that junk. I haven't, Knucklehead, I don't have like a legit schedule just yet, just because, you know what I'm saying, like work and everything be in the way. I do try to go live as frequently as possible now. Like, I'm going to be honest, I haven't even recorded it how I used to record it, just like me in the room, which is, I might need to do that here and there, but like, just hit them the bell notifications so you know when your Uncle Lou drop, man. If you hit them bell noties, you going to know when I'm dropping. You never going to miss a live. These lives are always a vibe. I'm glad that you was able to make it, though. Because there's a lot of people that I know they always kill me. They're like, dang, bro, I never get to make the live. Boo. A part of that, too, I want to say is because I don't get to do them earlier. The only time I do get to end up doing them is around this time, like around 8 p.m. Eastern to like around 11-ish. And for my people overseas, I would love to get in earlier in the afternoon just so they can at least get some live moments with me, you know? But man, y'all got anything else for me before we head out? This is a quick little stream. I know I'm saying quick little, but as we're approaching 2 hours here, it's just because the time goes by so fast when I'm in here and I'm chopping it up with y'all. You know what I'm saying? We all gotta go. Well, I know I gotta work. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Do it late enough. It's morning form. LOL. Yeah, maybe one of them days. Like I really want to do like an early morning stream. I know I probably said it to you guys before. Like I want to do like a Saturday morning show kind of thing. Like not like a show. I don't want to keep it like formal. Like I just want to do like cut on the camera, sit back, chill early morning, play music, and just vibe. You know, like do like a Saturday morning cartoon kind of vibe. But we'll see on that. I want to make that happen though, like for sure. But y'all, man, if y'all going to work tomorrow, man, just make sure y'all lock in, get some good rest. You know, we in this together. We gonna make it through the day, and then the extracurriculars after work, cause that's the topper. It's a whole bunch of stuff that I have to go through before I could even get to this right here, bro. Like if I could just get to this on a regular day by day, bro, I promise y'all gonna have so many freaking videos to eat off of. I'm gonna have so many videos for y'all. But it's just cause I gotta go through so many things, just like any other person. But like I have to go through things on the day to day. You know what I'm saying? That I can't cheat, can't skip. Nah, ain't no reason to apologize. Ain't nothing crazy. You ain't missed this stream. Just as long as you tap in, hit that like button. It always support me. I appreciate that, knucklehead. You and your homies watch all the time. Favorite uncle. That's tough. I'm fucking with that. Your Uncle Lou is the favorite uncle. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they could come by, y'all. I could catch a live stream. Uh, Low-key game. We do gaming too. Uh, this week has just been busy, dude. This week has been busy. But I'm definitely planning for this weekend to do a lot of content. A lot of content. So guys, make sure y'all tuned in for the weekend. Hit that bell noti if you not. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right, make sure y'all look out for that. Rest of you guys, if y'all haven't, make sure y'all hit that like button, share the video. And again, if I haven't already, thank you guys so much for helping me get to 7,000 subscribers. Like, I'm honestly do not know how much I can thank you or how I can really express it to you guys. Like 7,000 may be small to a lot of people or maybe big to a lot of people, but to me it's fucking ridiculous. It does not make any sense. But just having you guys just come by, it keeps me going. Like every time, anytime I get a comment or just like how you guys are in the live right now, it keeps me going. Dang, seeing a client since 800, and it feels like 800 was just yesterday, but at the same time, it feels so long ago. It's like it's so weird. But you definitely an OG knucklehead. I appreciate that. We gonna be on the way to 10K and many more. I'm gonna be trying to go to 10, 20, and then you know what I'm saying. But we gonna take it easy. We gonna stay humble. We gotta get to 10. You know, 10. All right. But you guys get some good rest. Have a good night. We did about 2 hours tonight. Hopefully y'all cop in the next stream. I'm aiming to stream tomorrow night, but that's not a guarantee. But definitely Friday. Friday for sure. I'm gonna hop on stream. I really want to try to hop on tomorrow too. So definitely try to look out. Hit that notification muscle so you know when your Uncle Lou dropping. 7K subs, man. Each and every one. I fuck with y'all so much, bro. So much. 25K by summer. Dang, I don't know, Stephanie. That's tough. What I got to do to get that? If there's a path, if somebody tell me what I got to do, I can make that happen. I'm not doing nobody wrong, and I'm not going to be wearing a dress, okay? So if y'all see me do that, then y'all know I'm really down bad for some views. All right? But, all right, I'll catch y'all. A feet cam at 50K is crazy. Hot tub stream. Now, I'm finna get a lot of stuff for y'all, man. Like, for real. Especially you guys that's watching me from... I know I keep saying peace and all that, but for those of you guys that's watching me from the beginning, I promise y'all, like, I want it to be one of them things that when y'all look back, y'all finna be like, man, I've been watching Lou since he had like 300 subscribers, man. Like, you know, I really want to make you guys proud. I mean it. But with that being said, guys, it's like I'm stalling to get off. I fuck with y'all so much. You know what I'm saying? Potential. Potential's a cool word. Potential don't mean nothing if work ain't behind it, though. So I got to keep putting in that work. But it's also that love. I love this shit. So, got that Southern goodbye. Oh, that's the keep dapping up, coming back about 6-7 times. All right, I'm going to just have to give you the Irish goodbye. The good old Irish. The good old Irish goodbye. Right? All right, nephew. I'm going to go ahead. We just logged out of Twitch or YouTube. signing out. Make sure you hit that